Hello everybody, welcome back to Robot Attack. My name is Scotterso15 and today we're here with the lovely, you know what, you're a horrible person, Smokinace007.
Facts.
How are you? I'm done giving compliments, so, you know, just thought I'd change it up. No. But yeah, we're here, as per usual, to talk about games and what games we played last month. And how I'm gonna buy a Rome Total War remastered.
You would.
I would. I had. It's legal. It's in my contract. So if you're new here, welcome. Hi. How are you? I always we talk once a month about games and usually gaming topics. And I'm here, like I said, with Smokinace. So yeah, how are you? What's new? What's hip? What's happening?
Doing well, feeling good.
Yeah.
You'll notice that there is a different background behind me because we bought a house.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to
Sorry.
admit it. Come on, Scouter. I thought we talked about this.
Hey, you know, you got that. I got that. Like talking about my pirated games. So now you know. So,
But yeah, no. So please excuse the messiness back here. You know, and. So, but yeah, this'll get cleaned up eventually, you know, as every homeowner ever says. But
at least the good news is your Boba Fett helmet is still in shot. So, like, I would be like really mad if it wasn't, and like, I feel like it's a thing now. We have to have it legally.
Now that I actually have some space back here, you know, I want to eventually sort of try to get somewhat of a fun setup.
Like
so there will probably be more Boba,
more Boba Fett,
more Boba featured, more Fett features.
I feel like you're not too much of a Star Wars fan, as much, unless I'm just like that's something I don't know much about you. Like, are you that into Star Wars?
That could be a whole nother podcast, sir.
God. It doesn't even fit in this
Yeah,
topic.
and wait, real quick, side note, which one's your favorite Sar Wars movie?
All right, yeah. On to the next topic. So yeah,
what was that? I played Star Wars: A New Hope. Now, for games that I had played this month, the main ones, got back into Death Stranding.
Oh yeah.
Played some Dragon Quest XI.
I feel like we just talked about Death. Sorry to interrupt. We like literally a year ago. Feel like we just talked about Death Stranding because this is, I think, episode 12. So we theoretically went a podcast.
Wow! Holy cow!
I don't quote me, but anyways, you're gonna check now, aren't you? But I feel like a year ago today you said the same thing that you know you played that game, so it's kind of fitting.
Well. It did come out in November of 2019, so it's highly plausible that I was talking about it still in my... Watch out, Scouter!
My cat is...
Watch out!
all over me today.
So yeah, it is extremely likely that I was still talking about Death Stranding in March of last year. But yeah, played those, and then actually something that we won't really talk about in this podcast, but tied to my 2021 gaming goals, I actually signed up for a speedrunning tournament for the one and only Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, wow.
So I started getting back into playing that, so I will play quite a bit of that in the next month, getting ready and everything. But those were the main games. There are some other ones sprinkled in there. As far as, again, going back to my 2021 gaming goals, for beating a game every month, I'm not, with the move and everything, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to beat it, but I also started Bug Snacks on the PS5. Really fun little kind of sort of relaxing game. I will probably be able to finish that. So that'll probably be the game that I finish for March. But
3 lashes, sir. No.
I know. But hey, I still have a couple days left.
I'm sure you'll get. I'll let it slide this month. You get it pretty fast.
I appreciate that.
But I will say I was pretty impressed with the a little bit I did watch of your speed run. I think it was just a practice thing, and like I was like, man, already and I didn't want to watch it too much for obvious spoilers because I'm playing it hardcore all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
12 hours a day, right?
I was like, I like walked away, came back, and I was like, man, you're already. I assume past to. I think I commented saying like, you're pretty much past already where I was, so because I don't recognize this.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely not at the level of the guys on the leaderboard and the top of the leaderboard and stuff, but some of them have been like actually Plywood, the guy that I'm kind of following his guide and sort of watching a lot of his stuff. He's been running the game for 4 years, so I feel like if I were to be able to just step in and get times that were close to his time, that would be some sort of unholy thing going on. So I haven't officially posted a time yet, which was one of my gaming goals. But I'm going to do that soon, and I'm excited to see what kind of that number is, because I have an idea of kind of where I am in the time realm. But we'll see. And I'm sure doing this tournament, I'm going to run the game at least 4 times in the tournament, because they're doing sort of a round robin, like a round robin style. So even if I don't make it out of the first round, I'm still going to run the game 4 times through. So I feel like that's going to be a heck of a lot of practice, and that's going to, improve my time even more. But yeah, anyway, I've rambled too much. No.
I'm listening. Trust me. I'm just like glancing over my like recent games, and my God, it's so sad. So
everybody pull out your bingo card and see.
Actually, it's sad I didn't have really much time to play games.
Yeah, I know everyone's been busy and things like that. So, but yes, what games have you played in the past month?
Teardown.
I still need to check that game out. It looks so like so much fun when you play it.
Yeah, and then Town Scraper, which it's just if you've seen it. I'm sure you haven't, because it's not really well known. It's kind of like
I don't recognize it.
It's just like you have this open plot of ocean, right? And you just like plot down buildings, different colors. It's kind of like I feel like it's kind of like a map generator, like a GM map, but like for modern, old style fashion city, I guess. It's really.
What did you say it was called again?
Town
Scraper.
Yeah.
So it's
I don't know. I try to stream it, and then basically I just didn't find it entertaining. I feel like it's more of a, hey, I'm watching a video, but I'm gonna like mess around while cooking dinner or something. I think something like that. Like it's just kind of like Planet Coaster in a way. Like it's kind of like not. I guess not that, but it's kind of a chill. It's just a chill. Like it's very hard to like be entertaining with that game.
Just the little bit that I'm seeing, it looks like it would kind of like you said, a map generator. It looks like it'd be fun to create things and then play a game within it. Make a map and then play Team Fortress in it, or play Counter-Strike in it, or something like that.
Yeah.
It looks like I said, I'm only seeing just a little bit. It looks cool.
Or like
it looks like a fun, like you said, just sort of chill, relaxed game.
Like if you want to, like if you're a GM and you have like a modern, like area, like a modern theme or modern times, I guess. Sorry, can't think of the same.
Yeah.
Like the modern map. Like you could probably like, hey, I'm gonna put some buildings and like print it out and
that'd be
for, like a role-playing GM, I could see like something like that, but like, or like print it out and like put it on your walls or something, like it's just a town, like I try to stream it and I was just like, we'll just play something else, because I was like, it was like, I thought it'd be fun, but, and I guess I didn't really see too much of it, but I think I'd like that game to have plants in it. Like I was like, I want to build a park, and I saw like later on, like if you like close houses together, it might create a park. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I didn't play it around too much. Again, it's just a neat kind of just mess around like in the background while you're watching something, or it's not too exciting, or it's just I thought I got it as a gift, so I was like, yeah.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah. And then practice Portal speedrunning because it was
nice.
My birthday was on in early March, and on my birthday I always play Portal. It's like I have to. It's legal. I'll go to jail if I don't. So obviously,
one day we'll get you.
and same thing for like not playing Don't Starve Together or Don't Starve around October time, because that's when I started streaming. But I was actually just pretty happy with the time. Like, it was still not good. I'm still like learning the ropes, and like
it takes time.
I was just generally happy. Like, for the most part, I'm starting to now like remember what I need to be doing in the levels, because there's like so many levels.
Yeah.
And I think at one point I should just like practice the ones I'm forgetting, or like. But my worry is I'll then forget the ones I do know. Like, it's just I just feel like one day I'm just gonna,
And that's the thing is, again, I don't want to talk too much about it because I feel like we could do a whole podcast on this, but really digging into the Metal Gear Solid speedrun, I thought I knew that game.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I know this game. I know where to go. I know where I need. And then when you're trying to do it fast and you're trying to remember, and how many times have you beaten Portal? You know that game. You know how to beat that game. You know those puzzles. You know those things. But when you start getting that speed element, like when I was recording, like kind of working on my time, I looked down and I went, oh, I think I'm doing pretty good. And I was like, holy cow, I'm that long into this, I'm already past when somebody else has completed this game or something like that. And it's a whole different animal. But that's a podcast for another time.
Another day, next month. But I did, and then ELU is next.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
If you guys don't know, we raise money for Extra Life. I think we
whoop.
cover this too many times, but you should donate. Join for free.
Hey, you can never cover Extra Life too many times.
True.
Because the kids always need help.
Yes, that's true. But anyways, so ELU, if you don't know, it's now switching to an online tournament where Extra Lifers could raise money for their hospitals, and a competitive element. I don't remember all of the games offhand, but I think it's Fall Guys. The other one, I don't know.
Fall Guys, Among Us, Chess, Rocket League, Magic,
maybe.
And I think there's one or two more. But anyway,
Anyways, I signed up for Rocket League because I feel like that's probably the game I was like, you know what? Why not? And
that's what I thought last year.
I figured hopefully partnering up with Alien Freak. So I'm really I wish it was one-on-one, because like I don't know how like people are gonna like organize, like, because obviously
wait.
Sorry, what?
Is it teams this year?
Yeah.
Last year it was one-on-one.
It's 2v2, so I'm like, me and Alien Freak don't, we never played together, and like I played against him once, and then
Yeah, fun fact, I actually met Alien Freak through Extra Life United last year.
Oh, wow. Cool. Weird.
How do you... Oh no, I've got to find a partner. I didn't even pay attention to that. Oh shoot.
I'm sorry.
No, thank you for letting me know.
You can still sign up
no.
today. But yeah.
Yes, and go out there and sign up. I wonder if I can unsign up. Just kidding. Oh boy. Huh. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. So
look at that. 2v2.
Uh-oh.
What? I assumed, and you should never assume. I assumed it was 1v1 again.
I kind of want to, because that way, like, I don't know. I just feel like me and Alien Freak are not going to ever have time to practice together, or like, And I've been practicing 2-on-2 like competitively at least like once a day, and I've been like not to toot my own horn, but I've been winning like every day.
Nice.
And of course, I'm going to like be winning, and then when it comes to the tournament, I'm be losing. Probably that's how it's going to go down. But I'm just like trying to get back into the rhythm, and I don't know. I even told Alien Freak, I was like, I'll be quite up front with you. By the way, I'm a ball hogger. I'm gonna be pretty aggressive. Like I'll say, I told him, I was like, we'll definitely. I'm not gonna like if we're winning, like. Yeah, I'm not gonna like go crazy, but like, yeah, if we're losing, I'm going all out, because of course. Like, so I was just like, I just want to point this out, like, put it out there just in case. Like, I don't want to like, we're not gonna be friends after this. Like,
he's
really cool.
If we lose, we're not gonna be friends, is what you're saying.
Right. Well, either way, I lose a friend. It's gonna be great. No, I'm sure. I hope me and Alien Freak like I'm sorry, I cursed or something, like, sorry, I called you names or whatever. No, it's not gonna go.
I apologize for everything that I'm about to say.
Right. But obviously, like, I told them, like, yeah, but I was like, hey, if we're losing, yeah, I'm going all out. Like, we gotta win for our hospital.
Heck yeah.
But honestly, it's all fun. It's just for fun, we're not, like...
Yeah.
Obviously, whoever wins, goes to the...
I got... Last year in Rocket League, I got demolished. I actually won... I won... And then I moved on past the next round because the person that I was supposed to play against, like, backed out. I think they had something else they had to do. So I got another free pass. And then in the third round, I just got completely destroyed.
Yeah,
which
sure.
I knew would happen. I mean,
at least with, like, I feel like I think we talked about this before, like, Fall Guys and, Among Us is completely random. Like, at least...
Yeah.
That's more luck-based. I know I'm going to probably get some flack with saying that for Among Us, or, sorry, with Fall Guys. But I just feel like, timing and just, being in the right place at the
timing,
right time.
Yeah, positioning,
right
where you start, where not everybody starts in the exact same spot. So,
Right.
it really just, which we'll see, because I signed up for both of those games. So,
Yeah.
I signed up for chess.
So I was debating about chess, but I was like, man, I'm so out of it. Like, there's no way. Like, I'll be like, at least I feel like Rocket League. That's probably the game I'm the best at, just generally in every game I played. I feel like I'm an expert in Rocket League. Again, I'm trying not to brag, but I'm like, so like for me, I'm like, man, I'm an expert in a game. I'm sure that's like the game's mechanics to tell you like, hey, play more. But like,
no, it's something that you have to earn. I know that sort of competitive Rocket League has kind of
skyrocket.
Using a pun, taken off. There's a lot of really good players in there. So yeah, I know it's definitely something that you have earned. It's not just handed to you, or it's not just a title you can buy or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I been watching this like Rocket Leaguer, and he won champions and stuff, and I'm like I feel like I've been watching him like before he was even. And I was like, man, to even like see somebody like that I've been watching on stream. I think his name is like Guran or something. Anyways, like Guran. Anyways, like he. Like, I was watching him, like, and it's just, like, seeing him, like, a picture with him, like, winning a tournament, like, I just, like, feel like like, I'm sure it takes, like, just, like, speedrunning that we talked about earlier. It just takes a long time to master the skill.
Oh, absolutely.
Then, like, just, like, same thing with, like, Hearthstone, or, like, Rocket League. Like, if you stop playing for, a a good chunk of time, you're just there's no way of catching up. Like I've been playing Hearthstone again somewhat recently, a couple months ago, but like I was like, I don't even know any of these cards anymore. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just throwing cards right now. Like so I feel like that's the same thing with like Rocket League, that I'm just like I feel like, you know, I increased and I'm just peaking at this like level, and I feel like I'm never gonna get anything better. Like,
well, it's like anything that's been out for a while. You have those people and those players that have followed that game and stuck with that game and you know, for the whole time it's been out.
Like,
and they just, you know, keep getting better and keep getting better, and they just keep learning and learning and learning. You know, it's like jumping into an old first-person shooter. Like, a little while ago, I, you know, jumped back into Battlefield 4. And that game's been out for, you know, years. I don't remember how long it's been out. But the people that are still playing it are most likely the ones that have played it for the majority of that time. Yeah, and I could kind of, you know, hold my own a little bit and kind of stick around somewhat, but at the same time, there'd be some games where, yeah, like you said, you just get steamrolled because they've been playing it so long, versus a game that comes out later this year. Well, now everybody's sort of at the same level because it's, you know, like a brand new game, like Among Us. You know, yeah, that game's been out for a while, but it really blew up, you know, in the middle of last year. So everyone was kind of learning at the same time and kind of getting to where they need to, versus something, you know, like you said, Rocket League, that's been out for, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. You know, there are those. Watching some of the professionals play that game and they don't even touch the ground ever, you know, where I'm sitting here driving around like, oh, look, I jumped and I was in the air for 30 seconds. I'm impressed by that.
Right.
But, so yeah, but like you said, you know, I tell myself this to make myself feel better. It's a game. It's all for fun.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, I'm excited to be able to take part in ELU again.
This is my first year, so I don't know. I assume, like, I just saw in Minica saying like, oh, like Extra Life posted like, oh, what's your favorite memory at Extra Life? And there, Minica's like, I met one cake lady, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's crazy. Like, feel like you guys already knew each other. Like, how did you, like, it's cool, and I'm hoping, you know, we can meet some cool friends, and, you know, I never been to ELU in Florida, and then, like, I was just like, oh, yeah, I'll sign up for Rocket League.
The one year that we lived in Florida, we moved down there right around the time of ELU, so I just didn't get a chance to sign up or make it, and we lived a couple hours away from it anyway. But hopefully, once things are safe again and more comfortable in a few years or something like that, hopefully, I do hope that they go back to an in-person Extra Life United, but still have the online element.
Oh yeah, like I assume,
you know, I know
it should be like, it's gonna like eventually like just be blown up. Like maybe it'd be like all of a sudden like a thing to watch once a year, like, you know, JDQ or JDQ. And that would be amazing. To that scale, like, you know.
Agreed. Yeah, because you know, I feel like it's just getting bigger and bigger every year, and the addition of the online is amazing.
Right. If we get, you know, more people, you know, coming on, you know, that'd be great. I was gonna say too, like with like Rocket League and stuff. What's the point I was gonna make? Let me think. Anyways, yeah, I lost it. I'll come back. I'll come back to it.
You'll be doing the outro, and you'll be like, "I got it."
Right, that's gonna happen. Oh man.
Or we'll be in the middle of next month's podcast, and you'll just randomly blurt out it, and everybody's going to forget what it was, and then you'll be like, no, that thing that I was talking about in March.
Shut up.
Ha, see?
All right. for Rocket League, it's like you either steamroll, like we're talking about steamrolling, right? You either get steamrolled or you steamroll the other team. There's like rarely any middle ground to that game. Like the most recent game I played was close, but like generally it's either like 4-1 or like you're losing 0-4. But
I just got shushed.
Sorry.
Rude.
I apologize.
No.
You could do it later.
That was the best thing ever. That was great. No, I'm glad you figured it out because I hate that.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has those moments. You walk into a room and you're just
like on the tip of my tongue, and I was thinking I need to write this down too, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna remember it. And then, but yeah, I don't know. So
well done. I knew we'd make it there.
We made it.
You're welcome.
Yes,
you're welcome.
You're welcome. So, anyways, let's get to the bulk of this podcast. Finally, 30 minutes in. So
wait, I gotta talk to you more.
Right, I know.
Dang it!
Why did I do this? This was a submitted question on YouTube. See, I told you we cover questions on YouTube. You thought I was going to lie.
And we actually pay attention to your comments.
Right, yeah, so I appreciate those. This one comes from Can Sandwich. He's somewhat of a new streamer or new person to watch me. Actually, we knew each other for a while, and he found me. Anyways, he asked, basically, what... Like, we talked about, like, our favorite games, of course, like, a gazillion times on this thing, right? But...
I've never mentioned a favorite game.
Right. I don't know when that ever happened. Well, we never talk about our favorite games, ever. We basically made a bingo card out of it.
Buy them at the link below.
Right. I'm tempted to make one day.
Ooh, for Extra Life donations, you could get a print.
Anyways. Basically, the question was, what things you look for in a game for you to actually like them? Like, what makes the game of the year for you? Or what makes, like, a game good? Or we don't... Try to avoid, for the love of Pete, try to avoid our favorite games, like mentioning them. But we're gonna, probably. But he's gone. He's checked out everyone. But no, we're probably gonna mention like. Oh,
I can already tell you that it's going to.
But
like, it's gonna
specifically, like, what made you fall in love with Metal Gear Solid? What made the game lovable? Or even it doesn't have to be your top game. It could be just, I really like this game. It's not my best favorite game, but anyways, what kind of things do you look for?
First of all, quick shout out to Can Sandwich, because just always fun to talk to, always fun to be around. And also, who doesn't like canned foods and who doesn't like sandwiches? I mean, come on. You can't go wrong.
He's been a supporter of my channel. He made fan art of me, and that's awesome.
It is really awesome. Join Scouter's Discord, and then you can see those awesome images.
I mean, between you and me,
I'm just saying,
and whoever listens to this, I might have stickers for them.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh.
Because I'm pretty much out of these This Is Fine dogs, and I have a couple left because I had to order some more because I felt bad. Some of the stickers didn't send to them, so I wanted to resend them, so I had to buy more. Anyways, so go. Let's get off topic. Getting back.
Wait, go. I have to leave.
No, get
you
out
said
of
go.
there.
Dang it! All right. So. I've of course everybody who's a gamer thinks about this question on occasion, whether
Actually, never.
consciously or subconsciously, because because even if you don't actively think, oh, what do I like in a game, you can look back on trailers and gameplay footage and stuff like that, and try to figure out what makes you interested in a game. Why does a certain trailer grab your attention? Why does a certain game, Yeah,
man,
and
who's the host here, man?
but so everybody who has been a gamer and stuff like that, you've already thought of this question. Like I said, whether it's forefront in your mind and you go, okay, for me to like a game, it's got to have this, 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 and this, or you've thought about it, kind of subconsciously and gone, man, that game looks really fun. Well, why does it look really fun? And I'm going to show my age here for sure, because I know that if you had asked me this question...
Final Fantasy, so you're fine. We already know.
If you'd asked me this question 15, 20 years ago, the answer would be completely different, I'm sure. But one of the reasons that I like a lot of the games that I like more recently and everything is obviously a story, obviously an environment. I put tons of hours into Call of Duty, in the multiplayer on that years ago. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, those games. I put a lot of time into those multiplayers, and they were a lot of fun. But, I couldn't really put a finger on why, they were so much fun. Probably just the competitive nature, some of the cool, different kills you might get or something like that. But as I've gotten older and gotten more responsibilities and had, in a sense, less time to play games, I know, right? Having less time to put towards games and things like that, I want a game that I feel like I'm making progress in. And yes, in a shooter game, or a competitive game, yeah, you have levels, yeah, you have unlocks and stuff like that. But it's hard for me to see like an end goal in those. And now don't get me wrong, I still enjoy playing Battlefield every once in a while, playing some Call of Duty, playing some other competitive games just to kind of unwind a little bit, play some Counter-Strike just to play a few different rounds and stuff like that. But I find myself leaning more towards those progressive story games, because I want that kind of accomplishment. That's part of the reason for some of my gaming goals. I want to beat a game in my backlog every month because I want to complete those stories that I've started, and that I'm right there. I want to get that end. I want to see those credits roll and go, hey, I beat this game. Heck yeah, you can look at Call of Duty and look at your win ratio or your kill to death ratio or things like that and your scores and go, okay, I'm accomplished. I set out to make this goal of a 40% win rate or something like that, or a 70% win rate, and you can accomplish that. But I find it more satisfying now to go, okay, I started this game, and over the next 35 hours, I beat this game. I overcame the challenges. I overcame what the developers wanted to do, and I discovered everything. So that's kind of the biggest factor in what I find enjoyable in games. Some of the other factors too, and I know you said try to avoid things, our favorite games and whatnot, but nostalgia, really. One of the reasons I love Metal Gear Solid so much is it was one of the first games, and I know I've mentioned this on here before, it's one of the first games that I played through and beat and understood the majority of what was going on. So I guess even back then when I first played Metal Gear Solid, I still kind of wanted that accomplishment. That feeling of, okay, I beat this whole game from start to finish, and I kind of understood what was going on. Same with Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy series, especially 7. That was the first Final Fantasy game that I played. And, I couldn't tell you how long it took me to beat it the first time I beat it, but over those series of hours, and I'll fully admit, the first time I played Final Fantasy 7, I didn't understand the story. I didn't care. I was slinging magic. I was fighting monsters. I was fighting, enemies, beating bosses, getting summons. And I kind of grasped the story a little bit, but it was way over my head at the time, for sure. Just like many elements of Metal Gear Solid were. But there are obviously elements of those games that I still enjoy to this day. Like, I still like turn-based RPGs. That's why I like Octopath Traveler. That's why I like Dragon Quest XI, and I want to keep playing those games. I still enjoy, like, I played a lot of Pokemon Sword when that came out, and I beat that, and I had a whole lot of fun with. Yeah, heck yeah, I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
But those turn-based elements, and I really enjoy those. Even now, even in 2021, I still like playing games that have that turn-based element and those factors and that RPG feel for what I grew up with. And I still do like those shooters and the adventure games and stuff like that. But so yeah, it is really hard to just pinpoint one single thing that makes you go, oh, this is why I like a game, or this is why I find a game fun. But, again, thinking about it more, I can really see kind of where my interests lie and what's going to grip me in a game that's coming out, or that, we see at E3 or Gamescom or any Tokyo Game Show or any one of these big showcases, and I'm going to get a feel for, oh, that game looks really fun because I really like the world, or I really like the style of gameplay they've shown off, or something like that. So yeah, it was a heck of a good question for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would say that's my 30 cents worth.
Oh yeah, so I just want to point out, by the way, you pretty much mentioned BioShock Infinite. I'm just putting this out there.
I'm sorry, I never mentioned that once. Not a single. Those words.
You said beautiful. You beat the game.
Play it back.
Play back the tape.
And you'll
play
back. I want an instant replay, and the words that you just said, and I'm not going to repeat them, never came out of my mouth. No. Like I said when we were talking about that, it was better than I thought it was going to be, but and it did have some of those elements. It had a story progression to it.
For another time, sir. I still need to beat Metal Gear Solid, but yes.
Yeah, you do. I know that is. I start talking about it, and that's my way of pushing you.
Right. Yeah, no, it's Metal Gear is so hard. I don't know, like, for real. Like, I try. I got to the tank, and I was just like, I kept trying. It's hard.
It is a tough game. And like I mentioned, and we'll talk about it more.
Easy mode.
We'll talk about it more when we get to it.
Long time for me.
But yeah, in my first 24-hour stream, trying to beat all 4 Metal Gear Solid, the core 4 Metal Gear Solid games, I remembered that game is challenging, and especially if you've never played it before. Like, it was challenging for me, and I've beaten that game, I couldn't tell you how many times. So yeah, I'm still amazed, especially having watched you play what you've played. I'm amazed that I don't even know how old I was at the time that I was able to beat it at that age. Like, because it is a challenging game. Yeah. Well, and the thing is I did you a little dirty on it.
Yeah.
I gave you the hardest game probably to start with because of the mechanics.
Yeah.
Strictly because of the mechanics.
Yeah.
You can't fire in first person.
I have to use a controller. And as you know, we already mentioned this. I don't use controllers, rarely ever. So I have to play it in order to use a controller to even play that game. Because I tried keyboard and mouse, it's I cannot, for the life of me. I already forgotten the keys.
Yeah.
I need to press.
No, it is, like I said, it is it's a challenging game, and that's mostly because of its age.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I might have an idea for you, but we'll see.
What do you, in your opinion? I'm gonna put this. We're gonna actually talk about Metal Gear Solid now. You're welcome. What age do you think that was targeted towards then? Do you think it was actually targeted for 13-year-old kids?
So, I think it was targeted for a more, not middle age, but a late teens, 20-somethings. But keep in mind, at the time there weren't different mechanics. And what I mean by that is, you know, all the new games that we have now, the mechanics have been refined. I mean, I can't even think, but like a PS4 controller.
I just love how you just picked it out of nowhere.
There are so many more buttons on the PS4 controller. You know, there's so many more buttons on controllers now. You know, I'm just gonna keep. I could do this all day.
Put them out. Just take them out of your pockets. He's just like ready for this. This is like coming out of nowhere. One of the woodworks.
But no, there's so many more buttons on this controller than there were on the original PlayStation controller.
Right.
You know, so you've got, you know, analog sticks now, which that already adds a whole new element. You've got this touchpad. You've got, you know, the home button. You've got other you've got motion in here, things like that. So the games have gotten more complex. So we're taking the technology of now, and you're so used to this. You're so used to how this functions, how this handles, you know, this is aim, this is shoot,
right.
This is jump, this is, you know, everything like that. And you're stripping all that away and going back to, oh, I can only point in this direction and shoot. I can only point in this direction and shoot. I can only point in, you know, you only have the 4 axes.
Right.
Well, I guess it's 2 axes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, you only have the 4 directions. I guess you have the 8 directions because you have the diagonals. But you have 8 cardinal direction, or the 4 cardinal directions, and then 4 other directions you can go in. Now you've got 360 range.
Right.
360 degree. So I do think the game was targeted for that mature audience, that, you know, young adult, you know, kind of age group. But you were learning something new. You weren't trying to essentially unlearn modern mechanics and go back. Like, if you ever let me do another one of these challenges again, and, you know, if I give you one of the later Metal Gear Solid games, I think you'll have an easier time because it's more in line with modern games. You know, Metal Gear Solid 2, you can go into first person view mode and shoot from there. So if you can see a guard, you can shoot at them. So you can, you know, knock a guard out from, you know, 50 yards away and then not have to deal with them later. Whereas in Metal Gear Solid, you've got to get right up on them, or you've got to aim at them within a certain range that they can see you and everything. So that's a good question, and I see what you mean, but I think that is one of the biggest reasons and the biggest factors that I was able to beat that game at a younger age, because I had nothing else to go off of. Yeah, because I was just learning a new game, not, hey, I'm going back 20 years and trying to learn this game from 20 years ago, even though I know all these modern game mechanics. You know, you've played a lot of modern games. You know how they work. You know how they function. You know how they feel. You know how they react and everything. So it's... Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Know, right? That'd be interesting to look at, you know, other older games that are difficult.
Your favorite game. Look at that. What I see today.
But yeah, I would say that it was in the right age group, but it's definitely a more difficult game to pick up now. But like I said, I have an idea for a compromise in a way, but we can discuss that off camera.
I don't. To be frank with you, I don't think I'll finish it because that game is just way too hard for me. I just can't. I think I'm up to the peak of, and I guess I'm gonna mention this too. Well, just start with me, and I'll mention it later. Or I'll just mention it now. I think for me, like, if a game's too challenging, I will stop playing it. Like, just hands
That's fair.
down. And I struggle. Like, if I can't get to the next stage, then I'm like, all right, it's 2 hours. Like, I'm done. Like, clearly my skills aren't good enough to even, let alone the rest of the game.
On that note, I think we've mentioned it on here before. I know I've talked with other people. Yes?
Sorry, no, go ahead.
If you're going to say something, I don't want you to forget again.
I won't forget, I promise. It has to do with Resident Evil 4. And I'm not going to forget.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking then to make sure we don't get to that.
Just keep talking forever.
No. But going back to, something that's challenging, and I know this has become the benchmark and the everybody compares it, but Dark Souls. Dark Souls, a very challenging game, a very a difficult game. I figured that's probably where you're going.
No, it's gonna go with continue.
But it's a challenging, but it's beatable. There's multiple different angles. There's multiple different avenues you can take in that game. You can kind of go anywhere. You can, if this weapon isn't working for you, go back, find a different one, and level that weapon up, and come back. So it is difficult, but and I know I've mentioned this on here before, the Dark Souls series or the Soulsborne games in general are one of the only games that I can get controller throwingly mad. I can chuck that controller across the room,
luckily,
and then immediately stand up, walk over, grab the controller, and come back.
Again, yeah.
I
still have
and play it again and again and again and again.
It's gonna be fun.
Heck yeah, you do. But the difference in that is, to beat the tank in Metal Gear Solid, you have to do one specific thing. To beat the other bosses in the game, okay, I say this with a little liberty. You can do sort of some different strategies for some of them, but in general, you have to do one thing. Like, if you can't beat the tank in Metal Gear Solid, you can't go back somewhere, find a different weapon, try a different you can't just sit back and snipe him. You can't go get, the Nikita and just remote control rocket him. You can't do some of these other things. So you've kind of got one way of completing it, and that's where it can get frustrating. Yeah. So I completely understand. Yeah. Because like I said, Dark Souls, anybody can sit down and beat Dark Souls. Yeah. I guarantee that. Anybody can. You have to focus and you have to do it. Just like anybody could sit down and beat Metal Gear Solid, but it's much more linear. It's much more, in Dark Souls and Bloodborne and things like that, and Sekiro and those games, if you can't beat this boss, a lot of times you can go somewhere else and fight another boss. Maybe you can beat that one. Well, now you've got more souls and you can level up better to become stronger and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You can't get stronger in Metal Gear Solid. Right. You can only hold a certain number of rations. You can only have so much health. You can't level that up. You can't make your weapons stronger. You can't do some of those other things to make the game, that much easier for yourself or that much more conducive to your playing style. You've got to kind of follow essentially the script that they've played out, and if you can't quite wiggle into that way, you're kind of at an impasse. So I completely understand. It makes perfect sense. But
I was gonna say, says the guy, like, literally, Resident Evil 4, years to beat it. There's this one boss, Celsor. I keep forgetting his name. Anyways, I just couldn't. I just stopped, and that's I was like, man, like, it's a decent game, and then I couldn't beat him, like, and then once I did, I was like, yeah, best game of the year. uh, and finish the game, you know. And then it says the guy who plays, as you mentioned, Dark Souls 3. Says the guy who also plays RimWorld. Like, I guess, and that's hard as nails, and Don't Starve is impossible.
But
still haven't beat
also,
Don't Starve, you know.
Yeah. Again, perfect. A perfect example. Coming from the guy, I can never remember which side you're on for me. I think it's this side.
Yeah, you're right.
In the video, because on my screen, you know what?
Right.
You know what? I can just do this.
You're just gonna put a sticky note like next month, like John's right there.
Scouter's here. But coming from the guy who I know, when you first were gonna play Dark Souls, you were dreading it. You were absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I think.
You know, you were horrified of it, and you were disgusted.
I was like, okay.
And then I remember watching your stream, and you could see the little light bulb kind of going off, and you sort of going, you know what? I'm having a little bit of fun here.
Yeah.
And then when you kind of dropped hints and sort of dropped other little tidbits of information in saying, I might do this again on stream. I might play this again. Right. You could see how, you know, you were starting to learn the game, and you were starting to have fun with it, and you were starting to see, you know, the joy and the experience behind it. Right. And that was really cool to see, you know, it kind of build that excitement for it. And now you've got to play it for 24 hours because Extra Life, everyone go donate
here. No, exactly.
And join.
Like, and I had somebody who was helping me, but like, which I guess, like, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll like, he's like, oh, this sword is the best sword if you go into that chest. Like, I was like, I mean, I kind of wish you didn't tell me, but like, I guess, like, again, and this might be another podcast about backseat gaming, but just generally, like, I was like, okay, you know, well, why not? And obviously, that's not going to improve my skill. I'm still going to die multiple times. It's just the best like one of the best weapons or whatever, apparently, or whatever. Anyways, like, I think, yeah, with Dark Souls, I feel like it needs to be challenged. I think going into that game knowing, like, I'm going to die and a lot. Like, I think maybe it'd be fun, like, during whenever I do the 24-hour stream is, like, you know, hey, if, you know, high or low, what do you think my death counter is? And then whoever's closer, I'll donate to your Extra Life or something. Like that'd be, and obviously I'm not trying to just die. Oh, Smokinace has 300. I'm gonna, I gotta like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna, obviously I'm not.
You don't have to try to get deaths.
Right. I'm gonna be dying a lot. So, you know, I thought of that. No promises. I you know, I think it'd be just kind of fun to see whoever's closer to, and, you know, just have a little fun with it too, like, to see it also, like, maybe it'd be fun to have me put it on there, like, put myself, obviously I wouldn't donate to myself, but I'll just, like, see how close I am to, like, but, like, I think with that game, it's just, like, yeah, you're right, like, I'm getting it, I'm, like, obviously I'm still gonna die 20 gazillion times with this boss, but, like, or like, okay, I need to come back there. Like, there's this like one tree guy that you can beat him without like spells, but you like need a spell to kill him. But I think Rad Does Games did it once, like that tree guy, and so I was like, because the hints were like, oh, you need a poison thing to kill this tree. I was like, oh, okay, so. Like, I like those, like, little hints. And so what I was saying, too, just so finally gonna get around to it, I think for me to like a game is I want to, you know, go jump into a game, right? And just, like, it's idiot proof, right, for me. I'm one to, I struggle at, like, where do I need to go? What do I need to do? You could tell me, go over here and buy, you know, a kettle. But I'd be like, alright, yeah, I could buy a kettle. I'd be like, where do I need to go? What do I need to do? Like, I said, buy a kettle at the, you know, farmer's market. Like, where's the farmer's market? Like, going into this deep realm of, like, where the heck is this? Like, and I think with the 24-hour stream that I had last year of playing Divinity Original Sin, Pillars of Eternity, like I liked those games. Like I thought I'd like them, but like the only one I kind of liked between those two was Pillars, because at least it generally told you where things were and it's like on the map. But like I think with Divinity Original Sin, I was like, I couldn't even get out of the main area because I'll just be dying a lot, and I'm like, and that's where I'm like, all right, this game is frustrating. Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I like, I gave up. Like, that's why I didn't like that one very much. Like, because I was like, and that's probably why I like The Witcher a lot when I played it, and then the other one that I can't think of, that
XCOM.
I'll talk about that here around these parts. Kingdom Come Deliverance, like they're straightforward. Like, this is where you need to go. Go do that. There's a path. Like, go do those things. That's 2 times I killed Smokinace on this podcast.
Fact.
It's great.
Fact.
But no, I like to be jumping into a game, bam, and that's I think why I like probably indie games so much, is that like, yeah, I want to be a challenge, like I need to go here, but here's like and like BioShock Infinite was great because okay, I don't know where I'm going. I guess really BioShock Infinite, there's really no way to get lost, I guess, but like, you know, sometimes I like was going in circles. I was like, all right, and you could press this button and it'll tell you where to go. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, where, you know, same thing for The Witcher. Like, yeah, go to, you know, whatever Battleborn area and get this token for this person, and there's a path there. And same thing with like Red Dead Redemption 2. Go over here. Like, it's idiot proof that it's on the map, I know where I'm going, or at least like show me, hey, the town village is over here, the pot, you know, buy a pot there, a pan there, and you could come back. Like, we don't have to tell you specifically where they are. Like, it's in the market, go find it. Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But like to the Pacific, like I want to be guided, and I think that's why I like Don't Starve. I like it took. I still, like I said, to this day haven't beaten Don't Starve, but I still play the heck out of it when I can because it's good. And technically, I did beat it in a way, because there's one way to beat it where you have to collect 4 items and go to a different world, and technically, that's not ending the game, but the actual end of Don't Starve is to find Maxwell's door and beat 4 realms, and they're hard as nails. They are so, like, I don't see myself ever beating Don't Starve.
Now wait a minute. I thought that at the end of Don't Starve, when you beat it, it says you died. Because I've beaten that game a lot.
No.
I thought... are you sure? Because I didn't starve. I always got eaten by things.
Yeah.
So I think I won. I completed
the
the title of...
Right.
It said Don't Starve.
Right.
I didn't starve. I took the egg and the big bird crushed me.
Right.
I hit the beehive and the bees killed me.
Or darkness
I
killed
didn't...
me.
I didn't starve. I beat that game.
That's true.
You can't take that away from me.
Sorry. That's true. Yeah, I think that's why I like city building. I like, you know, that just... And they're stupid just... Like I said, I started off with playing SimCity 3000 and, like, Flight Simulator 1998. And, I'm excited, and I was going to bring it up later in this podcast. Rome Total War Remastered is coming out. Sorry. I played the heck out of Rome, and I mean, to this day, there's still bits and pieces I don't still know of Rome Total War, but I could generally...
It's a big game.
It's a big, like, of course, like, when that came out, I was like 13, right? And I'm like, oh, your citizens are happy. I'm like, alright, like... And then they're like, oh, now there's a riot. Now you're, like, everything's on fire, and now it's being taken over by Gaul. And I'm like, what's going on? What do I need to be doing? Like, so now I need, right, I'm like, and I lost those games. Like, I lost, because there's like a short campaign and a long campaign. Like,
Yeah.
of course I beat the shorter one. I didn't beat the long one, because the long one is you got to beat the whole map. The short one is like 30 regions and then beat Rome. Which is a little bit more, like I said, doable, but it takes a long time to do. Like I figured out, okay, I gotta lower taxes. I learned, like, oh, what if I build a road? Would they be happy? What if I build, like, learning some of the stuff, like even Don't Starve to this day. Like, they're adding new things that I'm like, what does this do? I haven't played this game in months. Like, what is this thing? And then like go on Don't Starve wiki to see what it does and what I need to do with it. You know, like Don't Starve, I had to learn on wiki how, or the wiki page, and for the most part, or watching people. Like, and maybe, you know, like I said, maybe it'd be good to get back into Pillars and Divinity Original Sin and see, like, watch videos again and be like, what am I doing wrong? Like, maybe I'll get into it again. Like, so, especially Divinity, it seems like and like you said, story-based, gorgeous. Like, that's why I love Don't Starve. It's so gorgeous, and the music is gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Everyone listening to this is gorgeous. I don't know. Anyways, you know, like a gorgeous art style, music is great. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but, you know, it needs to be, like, something decent, right? And, yeah, just, like, that's why I think I like just mostly indie games. They're just, most of them are so just simple to go into that you could just, you're literally, oh, I'm already playing for, like, 30 minutes now, and I already know generally the mechanics. And for the most part, I feel like, you know, that's why I like the indie game area, or sim building games, simulation games. I'm surprised I got kind of, we talked about this earlier in the podcast, like another podcast, where, like, what games don't we play anymore? Like the Sims, the original Sims, I used to play so much of, and I played the Sim 4 recently, and I'm like,
there's almost too much.
yeah, I'm just like
I put a lot of hours into the original Sims, and, you know, in The Sims 2. I remember when The Sims 2 came out. Holy cow! Oh my goodness, we spent so much time playing that game. But yeah, there's almost too much.
Yeah, in Sims 4 for sure. Like, whereas Sims is more laid back and, like, yeah, you go to work and boom, that's it. The day's over with, and then.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Now,
Sims 4, you could actually go to the work and do stuff. And I'm like, all right, no, I don't need to do more. Like, I'll skip the day and do, like, just make money and do, like, his needs or their needs, and then, you know, create your girlfriend at the time, or a girl you crushed on. You know, be like, yeah, I'm technically married to her in this game. No, I haven't done it.
No.
What are you talking about? No.
Delete.
Yeah. And just like the expansion packs are just pets, and then, you know, vacation, just that added feature to stuff is just so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I'm getting off topic, but I think that's what I just love out of, you know, why I got into the indie games or simulation building games, is that you just build, you just create stuff, and then, or, you know, things are kind of self-explanatory, or you'll figure it out very quickly. Like I said, Don't Starve is ever changing, and, like, it took me a while to learn how to play the game, but once I've done, I'm like, this is a great game, and the music is fantastic, and Clay can do no wrong. But yeah, anyways, I think that's mostly why I like, you know, those games, indie games, and, well, two technically AAA games, that they're just directed, great stories, or just easy. I can pick it up and just go, and then, yeah, if I have a snag, yeah, like I'll probably forget about it and come back to it, and then play it some more another time. And that, like, same thing with like I said, Divinity and Pillars. Like, I'd like to maybe rewatch some of the videos and like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Like, even Prison Architect, it's a great laid back game, but I still like there's some things I didn't figure out right away that you see, like you have to build like instead of building walls, you actually have to build a construction like area, like you have to drag, and like I was like, wait, why aren't these walls working? I'm like, I didn't know I have to build like these infrastructures. So like, yeah. And XCOM 2, no.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Anyway, so yeah, that's why. Man, that's why it's just so simple to get into indie games for me. Yeah. So.
A quick side note: you were talking about like, seeing a path or getting hints or something. I don't think I've talked about the series at all, or if I have, I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but the Uncharted series for PlayStation. A very great series. I really enjoy those games. Uncharted 2, I still hold to this day, and so I might have mentioned it before, but Uncharted 2 is one of the best single-player experiences I've ever played. It is a fantastic game. Uncharted 3 is really good as well. 4, I've only beaten that one once. I want to go back and play it again at some point. But those games are really fun. They're really good games. And one of the things that I really love about, I think it was in at least 3 and 4. I don't remember if it was in 1 or 2 for sure. But for anybody who doesn't know, the Uncharted series, it's... well, if you don't know Uncharted, you probably don't know Tomb Raider. But it's kind of like a modern Tomb Raider game. It follows... It's very similar in mechanics and just kind of concept and stuff like that. But there's a lot of puzzles because he is an adventurer and kind of a treasure seeker and a treasure hunter. So, of course, there's all these ancient puzzles and traps and things you've got to figure out. And one of the things that I really enjoy about the game is it gives you plenty of time. You're working on a puzzle. It gives you, you're in this one room, and it gives you, I don't know how long it is, but let's just say 15 minutes or 10 minutes. It gives you, let's say, 10 minutes to figure out this puzzle. Well, if you can't figure it out, if you haven't made any progress after, let's say, this 10 minutes, you can it shows you a prompt on screen, and you can press a button. You don't have to, but you can press a button, and it'll give you a hint of what to do or where to go. It doesn't give you that right from the beginning, so you can't just, walk into a room, press a button, and it solves the puzzle for you. It gives you time to try to figure it out yourself. It gives you time to try to decipher what's going on and things like that. And then if you can't, the game kind of hands you a little bit of a hint, and you can press that, and it'll say, hey, look at this statue, because that's the thing that you need to grab, or maybe you need to do this instead. And I really like that, because the game doesn't outright call you stupid. The game doesn't outright say, hey, you can't figure this out, you're dumb.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I feel like that timer will be, like, that would signify, well, I'm dumb, I guess, because it's hinting at me. Like, so, like, yeah, maybe that'd be cool.
But they do it in such a way that you don't feel...
like you're a dummy.
Like a fool.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like that. That makes me really happy.
Then
because, again...
You would like Saints Row, Just Cause, and Far Cry as well.
Oh, those games are so much fun. I do love those games.
I've tried to
so much fun.
Get into them, and I don't know. I have the most recent Just Cause on my computer, my PC, and every time I stream it, just obviously my computer is not built for that game. So, and then Far Cry, and I haven't played. I bought these games, but I haven't played any of them. I really need to. Like I said, I like your idea of play a game once a month, and I think, and that's why I kind of created my channel points how they are, that you could force me to play a game. That way, like, hopefully, so far it kind of worked out that people redeemed it to games that I haven't. Like, there's a couple times, like, I think KKR redeemed XCOM or something silly, of course. Or I forgot what he redeemed, but, like, I was like, all right, like, I gotta play it. And, like, that leads me to excuse to actually play those games again.
Yeah.
So, like, or, like, oh, you haven't played RimWorld in a while, I'm gonna redeem it. And, like, that was my hope, is, like, people could redeem those, and like, you could probably redeem them for me to play XCOM. Or, sorry, don't do that. You will get banned from my channel. I was gonna say Metal Gear Solid. You're joking, like, oh, don't even test me how many points I have. I will. I
got plenty. I can make you beat that game.
I'm sure
I can make you beat that game. Or let me rephrase that. I can make you want to beat that game, so you'll be done with it.
Right.
Side note,
like City Skylines, I haven't played that. Last played August 2020.
Yeah, so much fun.
But like you would think, like I love city building games, and I just haven't played it in a while.
So I know. No, you're good. I know that Gabe Newell is watching our podcast
Obviously.
right now. I know it.
We're on
Gabe,
Spotify.
hello,
Hi.
welcome, Gabe. One thing, and Scouter just made me think of this.
You're welcome.
So if you could please donate to both of our Extra Life campaigns and send us some money, because,
just mostly to
Steam.
Extra Life first.
Yeah, Extra Life first, but still, you can still give us
Just
a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Anyway, just maybe one comma,
right?
maybe 2 commas. I'm not being greedy here.
Anyways.
But I'm kind of surprised that Steam doesn't do something like that. Like, have a little thing that says, hey, you have 50 hours in this game, but you haven't played it in 6 months. Maybe you should play this. I'm kind of surprised Steam doesn't give you kind of a little recommended game in your library. Or, hey, you haven't played... That would be really cool if you say you sign into Steam, and maybe there's an option, and you could obviously turn this option off.
Right.
But when you sign in, it says, hey, you have this game in your library. It's installed. It's sitting there, but you have 0 hours in it. Do you want to play it today? That would be really cool. Because like you kind of said, where, okay, I've bought this game. I've bought this Humble Bundle or 20 Humble Bundles or far too many Humble Bundles. And I've gotten, well, of course.
Right.
And, I've got all these games in my library that I've never touched.
Right.
And like you said, with the channel points, that can kind of force your hand and force you to play that game. It would be kind of cool if Steam would sort of do that. You start it up, and like I said,
live tweet to
I might after this actually, because that would be really cool. Because that would be a good way to say, hey, maybe you should finally play this game that's in your library that you spent $10 on. During a Steam summer sale, because, games are 45 cents every time.
Yeah. Is it,
so Gabe.
Gabe? That's right. I don't know if he has a Twitter. But, anyways. That'd be cool. Or, I'm sure there's probably some way you could, there's probably something already out there.
Well, there kind of is, and I loved this series on Funhouse, but they did Steam Roulette, where basically you spin a wheel, and it picks a random game for you to play. So there kind of is something like that, but it's third party. It's out. I think it's third. I don't think it's not owned by Steam. I'm pretty certain. But yeah, that would be a cool little way to maybe get me to play some of my, my neglected library, Steam library games.
I don't know. Yeah, I just, or just, make a list that, like, hey, month of February or month of April. Sorry, I don't know what month it is. Month of April. Life is Strange or whatever. Next month. And just be like, and I just got. Oh, I'm so excited for Not Tonight. So if you Papers, Please, right?
Yeah.
Not Tonight is like Papers, Please, but you're a bartender. You're a what's the word? Like security bouncer. Thank you. I was thinking like security bouncer at a bar, and you gotta check IDs and like.
Okay, that sounds kind of cool.
There's another element to it that I don't really want to mention on stream, on this, but let's just say it's like a little bit of a crime aspect to it as well.
Okay.
So I'm kind of excited for that one.
That does sound interesting. I've never played Papers, Please, but I've watched a decent amount of it. Scouter hasn't watched Star Wars.
Smokinace, please.
What?
You haven't played Papers, Please.
Okay. You missed a golden opportunity there. You should have said Papers, Please.
Papers, Please.
Because come on. I know it is one of those games that I've wanted to check out. I just haven't gotten around to it.
So good. Anyways, I'm mad at you now. No, it's fine.
If you beat Metal Gear Solid, then I will play Papers, Please.
Papers, Please is but yeah, and
it does look like a lot of fun.
It's just stupid. It's stupid fun art too, and just like I said, just like the simple game. It's so good. So, anyways, it's a good place to end.
Yes.
We've been talking too much as usual.
We always do. Right? It wouldn't be a robot attack podcast if.
What else is
everyone check your bingo cards. How many bingos did you get?
Yeah, we were pretty good, I feel like. We didn't feel like
BioShock, Resident Evil, Prison Architect, Don't Starve, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, Extra Life.
And I wasn't even the one to talk about those games. I was the one who was mentioning those games, but
XCOM.
You didn't. Yeah, that you get banned. You get banned. And anyways, yes, thank you.
He's gonna edit me out and just poof, just gone.
This is the end of Smokinace on our podcast, by the way. From here on out.
Oh, finally! My goodness, hooray! I'm finally out. Man, I should have done that a year ago.
Let's talk about XCOM. No, but yeah, for real, they'll come next month. You're fired, sir. But no, for real. Thank you so much for listening. We're still on Spotify. Check us out for sure. Links in the description. I have it on the links now, so you could click it.
Nice.
Check out Smokinace. Check out me, and we'll see you next month. No.
As always, yeah. As always, let us know. I mean, like Scouter said. Can Sandwich's comment and question was kind of what fueled this podcast this month and everything. So let us know what you want to talk about. Yeah. It's very likely that next month we'll probably talk about, at least in some depth, a little bit of speed running, about Extra Life, United, those kind of things. Oh. But yeah, the things that we normally talk about anyway. Right. But let us know if there are games that you have wanted to speedrun or that you like speedrunning, or what do you like in a game?
Sure, we already talked about
or any other topic. This is true, but I'll actually have something to say this time.
All right, no, we can talk about it again. I'm okay. We can talk about
but
on this place.
Yeah, no, it won't be a main thing, but I know I'll bring it up because it'll be something that is done next month. Yeah, that I'm finally actually sitting down and doing. But no, yeah, let us know. What do you find interesting in a game? What makes you excited about a game that comes up? Everything like that. So and let us know about future topics you want us to talk about.
And then check
because you can help us be exciting.
Exactly. It was really fun to talk about this, and it's like I said, it's the original idea that we wouldn't have probably created. I think I thought of one out of the blue, and I always forget to write it down before like, and I'm like, so like I need to do better than that. For next time is like write stuff down right away so we have topics.
Yeah, like you said, it's probably not a subject we would have ever thought of, even though it's something we think about all the time.
Right.
You know, it's something that we actively think about on maybe a nearly daily basis, but probably would have never crossed our minds to talk about in this podcast. So thank you again, Canned Sandwich, and thank you to everybody who gives future ideas as well.
Yeah, for sure. So, and check out Smokinace007 on Twitter, YouTube. Well, you're not on. I always forget you're not on YouTube. Twitter.
Not on YouTube.
Twitch. He's an awesome guest, and I appreciate his time. Check out me. I'm gonna do it for you.
The one thing that I do in this.
I'm sick of it. No.
Make sure to check out Scouter715.
I feel like I need to plug you in every time because, of course, I need to because you don't have to waste an hour and 21 minutes every month to talk about this games and deal with this every month. So I appreciate it as usual.
It's always a good time.
If technical errors happen, you get an Extra Life donation. So, you know, it's a win-win for you, and that's pretty much every podcast. So it's great.
Again, thank you.
I probably stopped,
thank you for that.
Yeah, I probably didn't. We didn't talk about this, of course, but last podcast, like, as you could tell, I bought new headphones because on the Rage Salt stream, I think I mentioned this. I drove since it's wireless, it's like a USB, and I hit it with my knee, and it bent it, and it was like not plug it in, and then I record this through OBS, which is not the greatest thing. I should probably do something else, but regardless, after when Smoking Ace was talking, it just cut out, and I'm like, I just let him talk. And I was like, I should say something, but anyways. But yeah, I had to donate to him because I was like, I'm so sorry, like, and we had to basically start all over. But no. But, you know, either way, you get a donation if we get technical issues. So.
But again, that just shows you why you should follow and check out Scouter, because he is a good guy, and even when he doesn't have to, he's still is very generous to Extra Life, and not only in his own streaming, but he supports so many others too. So
you do too. But yes.
Even for something that wasn't his fault, he still donates and supports to Extra Life.
Like we're like a half an hour in, and like, crap, and it's late. And I was like, all right. But yes. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. And
yes, thank you very much.
Check us out on Spotify. If you don't want to see our faces, you can hear our terrible voices, and or at least mine. Smoking Ace has a great voice. But yes, check us out for sure. Thanks for watching and listening, and see you next month. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.